Oh, what's up, SummerSim crew? It's JMP here, and we got Suns and Bulls, both are 0-1.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome, NBA fans. Ernie Johnson here with you.
Kawhi might go off.
The Jet Smith and
I'm just
Shaquille
going to
O'Neal,
just
and
state
we're
that
all
right now.
amped up for this early season.
Bye, Ernie. You know what? I'm going to go throw my Bulls jersey on.
Thanks for joining us live for NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin
Over under
along with
3
Brady
Lynn
Anthony,
shots.
Brent Beard.
3-point
David
shots, to
Aldridge
be
will be
exact.
reporting from the sideline. Well, it was the Chicago Bulls in their last game, a loss to Toronto. And they were still in that one right up to the end, guys, but lost by a couple of buckets.
That final score really caught a lot of people off guard. I think we would have to quantify that one as an upset.
No question. I know I did not see that coming, especially when they had a chance to win it late in the fourth quarter. I thought for sure they'd get it done.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. On the court for the Suns, Kawhi Leonard is out there with Portis. Then it's Enes Kanter. Then there's Bledsoe, and it's Lamb at the shooting guard. Covington's shot is off. Well, Brent, you look at the front court options for the Suns, and they have a lot of youth and a lot of length, certainly. Definitely, it's going to be a strong point for the team as they rebuild.
Well, it plays into the Suns' scheme to get out and try to run in transition and not to have a lot of these young guys set up in the half court and deal with getting pushed and beat around a little bit. Once they settle in and establish their confidence playing with that style of play, maybe they can take the next step to be more consistent on the offensive end.
Now Aldridge, after Jeremy Lamb's three-pointer that didn't go.
Well, I feel like he can make that one blindfolded. Aldridge, as usual, cashing in from mid-range.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Now here's Lamb. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in.
Well, the pick didn't exactly neutralize the defender, but good concentration on the finish to still get the basket.
Here's Green. There's the pick. Fournier sets the pick for Green. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
And had the right idea there in calling for the screen, but he was just slow to get to the spot and didn't get set.
A lot of this is just poor effort right now. He knows what the timing of the play should be. Gets a little lazy about what it could be.
Here's Leonard. Here's Lamb. No good on the triple. For Chicago, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Outside, Lynn.
Oh no, Lynn, please don't.
Green with a screen on Leonard. Shot clock at 6. Lynn kicks to Green. The basket good off the assist from Lynn. Hey, Brent, right off the bat, we're already seeing several big-name rookies struggle a little bit. Talk about the adjustment going from being the star player, the guy on your college team, to becoming, initially at least, a contributor in the NBA.
I think it's difficult, the mental adjustment for a player to come to practice and do all the things to prepare for a practice and then work extra either before or after practice, Kevin, and then go to a game, put on your uniform and sit.
Okay.
It's just not something that they're
so
used to. They haven't done it for
Not
10.
natural, right.
Oh yeah, or 10 or 12 years. And so it's important to have 3 things at that point, Kevin. 1, a coach that continues to tell you what you need to work on. 2, an assistant coach that works with you daily on the things that the coach has told you about. And the last part is having a veteran guy as a mentor. That can be extremely important in you keeping your confidence and the idea of be ready, stay ready when your opportunity presents itself.
2-for-1 chance here.
Let's see if they use the clock to their advantage. Outside
Aldridge. Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Phoenix takes possession.
Yeah, this is where you have to sharpen up your passing. That's a careless turnover.
Leonard with the ball. Last time, 14 points for him. Bledsoe against Lynn. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Bledsoe going to the inside has no problem at his size getting in and drawing contact.
Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead. And that one falls, and that puts them up by 1 point. And it's the Bulls with the ball. Outside, Lynn. Pass to Green.
Man, just look at all those triangles.
Al Fournier. Just 3 on the clock.
Hustling to get up on that shot. No one can fault Cantor for his defensive effort on that one.
At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Phoenix ahead, leading by a point. And we'll be back right after this. And Jeremy Lin, a player who's come a long way in his time.
I wasn't sure, if
Well, in a game filled with some pretty big egos, there are also guys like that who are living the dream in their own very grateful way. Lynn has certainly seen the highs and the lows.
And Kevin, not everyone's a superstar and certain of their future. Sometimes you get to be a superstar for a brief moment in time, but this game has a way of humbling people, even those who started out humble, like Lynn.
Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And from what we've seen, guys, from Phoenix, what do you guys see?
They've gotten to the line with tremendous consistency here through the first period.
Such a great way to silence hostile fans who want the up and down pace that gets them amped up. Instead, everyone's just standing around watching the free throw game.
Jeremy Lin is out there with Evan Fournier. And it's Green. Then there's LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Covington in at the 3 spot. That's the Bulls 5 as we get into the second quarter. It's the 3-point bomb.
Coaching staff has to like that ball movement, and it began with Bledsoe.
And for many years, the Chicago Bulls were viewed as a model franchise. Always were competitive and in the hunt for a title. But this current version just can't escape turmoil from within.
Oh!
What a superb athlete, Eric Bledsoe, getting up big time.
And that was Under Armour bringing you that replay. Unleash chaos. And what a play it was. On the wing, Green. Aldridge with a screen on Leonard. Here's Covington, and the rejection by Leonard.
And that's the thing we know about Leonard. As a defender, on the ball, off the ball, he's rarely out of any play.
And we're about 2 minutes into the second quarter here. There's the pick. Out to the right wing. 6 on the shot clock. He used that pick just right. 7 points for Eric Bledsoe.
Dead-eye shooting from them this quarter.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Here's Lynn. From down in the low post, it goes.
And he's a hard guy to get around. Aldridge setting a sizable screen and knows the angle to spring open the teammate.
Bledsoe kicks to Portis. Lamb passes to Leonard. And Bledsoe has it in the corner. Offensive rebound. Dishes it to Cantor. Makes it off the glass. Cantor's got the lead up to 9 now for the Suns.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter.
I'll say, if you're that wide open, I hope you get that three.
You can blame some poor defense on that play. Just a total breakdown.
But hey, that's only
at least
6
contest
point.
at some point.
The shot by Bledsoe.
9.
Nobody around.
8.
And Enes Kanter again. Kanter's got 6.
And Kevin, they've dialed up their activity this quarter. We're seeing them convert a lot of those second chance opportunities.
Pass to Covington. Aldridge a screen. Covington against Leonard. And with that shot, the Suns' lead is cut down to 6. That one coming from Covington. Phoenix has gone 2 of 4 from 3-point range so far in the second quarter. Bledsoe dishes to Leonard. There's the pick. Back to Bledsoe. The tray. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got 3 assists now in this one.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Lynn kicks to Green. The dish to Fournier.
So he's going to chuck it 3.
And here is Aldridge. Back to Fournier. And so it's the Phoenix Suns in control with the 9-point lead to... All right, David, thank you, and stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal. And for the Suns, the first quarter was pretty even. They were able to squeeze ahead by the end of the period with just a 1-point lead. In the second quarter, they made it look easy. They played well at both ends of the court, and suddenly,
Imagine shooting over
on a 9-point
60%.
lead here at half.
You only have 17 points.
That's it for halftime. As the second half,
I don't know how to feel as a Bulls fan right now. I really don't know how to feel about that.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway. Eric Bledsoe really making a difference here.
And let's see what the defense...
Suns leading by 9. Starting the second half, here's Jay Triano's 5. We've got Kawhi Leonard. Bledsoe is out there with Jeremy Lamb. Then it's Enes Kanter. And it's Portis in at the 4 spot. And a wide open look for Lamb. Another 3 for Phoenix. Brent, you certainly grew up around basketball. Your dad was a legend. Your brothers certainly played at a very high level. What kind of advantage do you think that gave you, if any, as your career was progressing?
That's funny, Kevin. I can't get away from it. I'm sitting next to you now, and we're watching basketball. So,
I know it. Here it is.
The advantage, I think, is just absorbing all of that stuff. Maybe on a subconscious level, that you're taking in everything about what the profession was going to represent for you, if in fact you got there. And thank goodness I did.
Well, I always sense you had a very wide view. Your lens was always wide, capturing as much as you could gather.
Yeah, it was like a 10 to 22 on any camera.
Phoenix shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. And he knocks down the first one.
And of course, in 2015, Kanter signed that enormous max contract, 4 years and $70 million. I think a lot of that investment is in his improvement in his outside shooting.
And Kanter drops them both. Second half rolling along now. About a minute played here. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Lynn kicks to Fournier. Feeds it to Covington. There's a good screen. Green, the pass to Fournier. Shot clock at 5. Lets it go from 14. Great positioning on the putback.
Imagine Bobby Portis putting the
It's
clamps
as if
on
Aldridge
LaMarcus
knows where the shot's coming from and gets himself in great position on the glass.
Or Draymond Green, my bad. Aldridge has to put back.
Third quarter of play with just over a minute and a half gone by. Leonard kicks to Portis. Now here's Lamb. 7 points in the game. Portis, the pass to Leonard. Shoots over Covington. Doesn't get it to drop for him. So the Bulls will take it the other way. This game against Phoenix here, it's the first look at the Suns.
In
Yeah,
their
the Google, that's
meetings
one of
last
the
year, they split the
excerpts
season
versus,
series. Happens a
Alliance.
fair amount between teams from the East and West.
Yeah, even when it comes to matchups where it
Jeremy
looks
Lin's
like
sighting.
one side should be the clear favorite, those brief 2-game series often end 1-1.
And Draymond Green just does so many things well on the basketball floor. But to me, above all else, he really is an elite defender who allows this team to be creative with their lineups. You can just put him on any player at any position and feel comfortable with his impact. And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. And with Green, it just seems that as long as he's going to be in the league, he'll be in contention for Defensive Player of the Year. Draymond Greg has been that dominant on that end of the floor.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And one thing's for certain, you don't want to go at him when you need a bucket. Views it as a challenge, almost an insult if a guy wants to attack him. And he just has a knack for making winning plays on the defensive side of the floor.
Leonard dishes to Bledsoe. There's a screen by Cantor. Bledsoe against Lynn. Kicks to Lamb. Beyond the arc. And it's Lynn with the rebound. Bulls trailed by 12. And some very quick points for him on that possession. Lynn's got 5 points now this quarter.
You know what? Sometimes something good can come out of a bad possession.
There's a screen by Cantor. Bledsoe kicks to Lamb. Leonard against Green. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Well, there are some ways to fire up your teammates. That right there is one of them, thanks to Kawhi Leonard.
Outside, Lynn. Passes it to Green. He kicks it to Fournier. Green, the
the classic
screen.
Jeremy Lin. Hesitation.
Off the screen, and the shot is good. The Phoenix City's been cut down to just 10 points on the bucket from LaMarcus Aldridge. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Suns lead by 10. From the United Center in Chicago, back in a moment. Fred Hoiberg in a recent huddle with his players.
Keep fighting, fellas. All right, one possession at a time.
Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play getting started.
Good old holy ball.
The Bulls shooting is beautiful right now. 60% for the game. Pretty much everyone out there has been stroking it. We've got Evan Fournier, Aldridge out there with Green. Then it's Robert Covington, and it's Lynn in at the point guard position. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
Can I count that as a bad Jeremy Lin chuck?
Suns leading by 10. Bledsoe passes to Lamb. Green against Leonard.
There's been a couple travels. It's always
Over Green.
entertaining.
Kawhi Leonard again. Leonard's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Suns. Leonard's gone 3 for 4 here from the field. Lynn kicks to Aldridge.
And there's been 2 or 3 travels.
There's the pass to Green. Aldridge down low. He's against Cantor. And with that, the Phoenix lead is cut down to 10 on the bucket from LaMarcus Aldridge. Bledsoe outside. And the layup's good off the glass.
Eric Bledsoe focused that time solely on the rim, even with the D around him.
As we've seen, many teams play a little bit of a soft zone defensively. What's the best way, you think, Brent, to counteract that when you're trying to run your half-court offense?
Well, the best way to counteract anybody who's softening up on the backside of the zone is to overload that side of the court, Kevin. So now all of a sudden, if you make a shift with more players on one side of the floor, there's no way for 3 to cover 2 on the backside. That's where teams can gain incredible advantage. Think about Eric Bledsoe in the early part of his career as an understudy to Chris Paul out of college, learning from both him and Chauncey Billups. That ain't bad. Didn't come into his own until he was finally traded and became a full-time starter.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. And with Bledsoe here and talk about getting traded, and it was a big moment for him in his career.
Well, sometimes you need a change of scenery, Kevin, and then other times teams tell you here comes a change of scenery. But Eric Bledsoe has shown under the tutelage of Chris Paul in the early part of his career in Los Angeles that he's ready to head up a franchise.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Hey, guys, I was able to listen in on what Fred Hoiberg told his team. He said, fellas, I know you're tired, but you can't coast now. You've got to go harder. This game is in sight. We got to power through and get it. Words from a champion. Back to you.
Thank you, David. Here's Lamb. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Last time the Suns saw postseason basketball was back in 2010. This team knows that the next step for them in the rebuilding process is to get back to competitive level of play. These Suns fans are certainly not used to not seeing postseason basketball in the desert.
And the Suns, they've had so much success as a franchise, Brent, for so long. This is actually their longest playoff drought in team history.
Yeah, they've had a ton of playoff consistency, and we're unlucky to not ever have won a title, especially during the years with Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, and when Grant Hill was added to that roster. Great talent and a great style under Mike D'Antoni. All those teams came up a little bit short. Now they've got a young roster that's trying to get back to try and experience and taste what it's like to be in those kind of games. Wow, huge sigh of relief for the defense on that possession. You cannot give mid-range shooters any space like that to operate.
From the baseline, again, Chicago.
And really, Lynn has a terrific feel for this offense. Just seems to know whenever one of his guys is open.
Bledsoe dishes to Leonard. Back to Bledsoe. Leonard kicks to Cantor. Clock at 6. Cantor sets the pick for Lamb. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Cantor.
And it looks like just playing the last bit of this one out in what should be a nice win here for the Suns.
They found a great rhythm from long range.
Yeah, Kevin, every time they left a man open deep, he'd get a good shot at the basket. Didn't hesitate, and that
Andrew says no thank
and
you.
it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Eric Bledsoe.
He came in with a focus and brought that dominant performance to the defense all night long, controlling the pace of the game, and was firing on all cylinders.
And there's the foul. It's on Bobby Portis. That is his first foul of the game. Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 10. 29 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. And now the presentation of our Jordan player of the game, Eric Bledsoe.
He's put on a shooting exhibition for us here tonight. He's missed a couple along the way, but it sure seems like everything is falling for him. The only way to keep him from converting is to keep the ball out of his hands.
I don't think anyone in this building saw this coming.
Yeah,
I'm sure
Monte
that of the
to the,
players who these fans thought
Bosch
would beat them,
Cats, I'm just gonna
his
keep him on
name
the
was
bench,
not
though.
at the top of the list. Out of bounds, Phoenix will take possession.
Yeah, this is where you have to sharpen up your passing. That's a careless turnover.
29 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Screen by Jones.
That was some bench
Lawson
scrubbing
kicks
right
to
there.
Leonard.
Real
Back
good
to
bench
Lawson.
scrubbing.
Len sets a screen for Lawson. And the Suns miss again. Here's LeVert. Out left to the wing. Outside Robinson. Fires the three. Missed. So it's the Suns winning easily here. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, G, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was.
Oh boy, that was rough to watch. Their team played like straight basura. It was pretty much that's it, man. After the first quarter, ooh wee. Bledsoe and Lamb pretty much played lights out. The fact Portis hit a three-pointer, that's something else. Probably we've all been waiting for. Just how many twos did the Suns take? Wow. Okay then. I got nothing for this. Just both teams are red hot pretty much all across the board, and ugh. I guess that explains it. 8 free throws versus 0, so that'd make it be 34, or not 34, but 36 to 34.